All right, we're back after a commercial break, and to finish this problem. So what are we missing? So we found this one and this one. We only have one unknown, right? The diagonal BD.
Dr. Camp?
Yes.
Is it 3/5 of 125? 75? Not 166.
You're talking about here?
Yeah.
I put BC in here. So what's 3/5 of? Oh wait, that is messed up, isn't it? Yeah, that is messed up. So this is not right.
Yeah.
What is it?
75.
Oh, I like that better. Well, I'm glad you caught that, Mr. Gargis. Thank you. That would have been bad. This is where this kind of process messes you up, because we might incorporate that into the next situation. So the only nodes we have left now are B and D. And you know what? B is not looking good to me yet, because I would have two elements that I have to break down into components, right? In this scenario, I have how many? Just one. So I like D. So again, I'll draw my free body diagram of D. I'll put my dy force on it, which is acting up 150 kips. I have tension in CD, tension in DE, and then I've got this diagonal force, the one I'm looking for, which is BD. And what's the slope of that guy? Rise over run. Well, it looks like it rises 15 for a run of 20, so that should be 3 to 4, so we got a 3, 4, 5 again. Now, the only one I need is this guy right here. Is there a quick way to get him with the least effort? And does it incorporate any previous answers?
Yes.
No. No matter what you do, if you sum forces in the x direction, you have to include this one that you've already computed. If you sum forces in the y direction, if you sum forces in the x direction, you have to compute this one. Now, there is one small advantage in that in the y direction, you have to include not only the reaction, but the bar force. In the x direction, you just include what? One bar force. So that one might be slightly easier to do. But at this point, if you've made errors here, the whole thing's full of mistakes.
So don't we know FCD?
Do we know FCD? Oh, we do know FCD. Thank you. So that was we know we know everything but this one. I'm just saying what my suggestion is I know this value, but I computed it. I know this value, but I computed it. So I have two computed values in the y direction. In the x direction, I just have one. So I'm playing the odds. I'm going to Vegas and I'm counting cards, and I'm saying the odds are that the x direction might be easier to do and incur less error. But you know how odds are. They're odds. So I'm going to sum forces in the x direction. You could sum forces in the y direction and hopefully get the same thing. In the x direction, I have my force dE to the left and the x component of the one I'm looking for, BD. So you just have to take your answer for dE, which was 100, and plug it in here, and you should get a result for BD. It looks like BD is going to be negative. I'm not going to try to compute this, but Mr. Gargis, get your calculator out and give it a shot. I think it's going to be 125. Well, I did take a shot. I lied. So now we have all the information we need. So you could go back and summarize the problem and say BE is in tension, DE is in tension, BC is in tension, CD compression, BD compression. So any other questions? All right. Then I'll stop that.